It's 8:15 right now, and Stivers Ford Lincoln is downright proud to salute great organizations all around central Iowa. And folks, did you realize that September is Suicide Awareness Month all over the country? They're making this very, very apparent.
Yeah, and we have a very special guest with us this morning, Lieutenant Colonel Paul D. Thiessen. Thank you so much for being here. Now, the state kind of brought awareness of this suicide prevention awareness this weekend, but we're saying we want to be aware all month long, but really this is something we need to think about all year long, correct?
We do. It's obviously gets its focus in September, but we really truly need to think about it all year long, and that is the connected piece. We're very divisive right now as a country and as a people, and I think we need to really look back at our past and history and start saying, you know, how did I engage with each other instead of just the phone or the computer or Facebook? We need to look at each other and say, you know, that's another human being, that's another person. You know, I'm a very big advocate of one race, and that's the human race. Having been deployed in a lot of different places, I've seen a lot of different cultures, and we can learn from each other, but we really need to reach out to each other. We had a little thing going. I remember when people were like, oh, buy somebody, you know, pass it forward or pass it back or whatever. And you buy somebody a cup of coffee. Well, you may never know that that cup of coffee might have saved that person's life.
That simple gesture.
That simple gesture may have been, you know, thank you or how you doing today. If somebody would just ask, that may have just stopped them from thinking about going over the edge.
Yeah, it is one thing. I think we've lost the ability to just talk to one another because we are so in tune with our devices these days. But we're talking to you about this because you're the program director of suicide awareness for the Army of the 103rd, and you cover 6 states talking about this.
5 states actually.
5
yes,
states. Okay.
Right, correct. 5 states, and it's Illinois, it's Iowa, Minnesota, Michigan, and Wisconsin. So it's about 5,700 people is what we have on the books, close to.
And how prominent are suicidal thoughts amongst the folks that you work with?
Probably more than I would like.
See, I think that would surprise a lot of people because some folks will say, why would anybody even ever contemplate that? But it happens all the time.
It does. It does. We're surrounded by negativity if you really look at it. It's like a monster. I mean, everywhere you turn, you know, the weather or this or that. We've been programmed to be negative as a people in general, instead of looking at, like, today is Monday. You know, whether it's raining, shining, I'm vertical. You know what I mean? I'm standing tall, and here I am.
Right?
Right. It is.
Instead of it's Monday.
Right. You know, I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I play them in my talks, and one of them is called Pawn, and it's been Jocko Willink. He was a Navy SEAL, retired Navy SEAL. He wrote a book, but he talks about we can open any tap in our country and have clean, fresh drinking water. It's not like that around the world.
True.
And so those little things that we need to be thankful for every day is very, very important. And we need to get up with that and refresh our mind and refresh our day and say, you know, I have a pillow for my head. I'm not sleeping in the jungle somewhere on the ground in the dirt waiting for something to eat me, you know.
Yeah.
And we have food, more food than we can imagine. I mean, we throw more food away than most countries have in a year. It's amazing, and we have to be thankful and blessed and connected with each other. And this is really a big message that I want to put out, because if you're connected, you feel more belonging, and if you feel more belonging, you're more likely to have better self-confidence.
No, in your experience, years of experience, was there any one common factor that comes into play for most of the people that may have been contemplating this?
It's coming down to a couple of things, really, and that is financial. Is more of a crucial one, and then you have relationships, which that's where I'm trying to drill in this year, is that connected belongingness piece, which builds ready and resilience, and people have to find strengthen themselves mentally and physically and spiritually and emotionally, and feel belonging, and that comes along with self-image too, how you look at yourself. You know, how do I see myself every day? And how do I fit into, you know, the culture? So those are kind of the two themes, is the relationships and the financial. And if we can get to those things, and that's where I kind of circle back and say, you know, some of these guys and gals are coming back we're still in wars. We're still in Afghanistan. We're still in Iraq, and coming back, and they don't feel belonging, and maybe they don't have a job. You know, so our community and our culture is something that says, hey, you know, I'm going to take care of you. Much like World War II, where people came back and everybody was like, hey, come on, I got a job for you, and I got this and that.
Let's touch base on that for a little bit, because you specifically work with those at the 103rd.
Correct, that's correct.
So how can we make that more of a community-based effort as well? Not only our neighbors that we have next to us, but if we see someone in uniform or know someone that has served us, or something we can do as a community to help prevent and make people aware, as we're talking about this being Suicide Awareness Month.
I think it's just having a conversation. You know, it's great to tell somebody thanks for your service, and we all appreciate that, believe me.
You really honestly do.
We do. And you know what I always say is thanks for your support, because that's what I'm really looking for. I don't want a meal or anything like that. I mean, that's just personal. But what I want is to know that I have a community behind me. You know, regardless of your feelings towards what we're doing or what we're told to do. It's something that we do, most of us, selflessly. You know, it's we go and we fight these things and we do these things because we want the betterment of our whole and our country. We want to protect those that cannot protect themselves or don't choose or volunteer or whatever. Right. And it's important for us to know that, you know, we have that backing. You know.
Now, you also have something pretty interesting going on, kind of like ALS has the Ice Bucket Challenge. You guys have something pretty interesting to catch people's attention on social media as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, who started this?
My wife started
Your
this.
wife did?
Yes. Kathy Teason is her name, and God bless her. She has one of the greatest imaginations I've ever met in anybody. But it's a selfie, and using social media is a great tool. So we want to spread this. It's the duck lip challenge.
Duck lip challenge.
Right.
All right.
So you just kind of take a selfie with your lips out and
your duck lips.
Your duck lips.
Okay.
Right.
Just
right.
like this.
Just kind of, well, the best you can.
Right.
And you want to hashtag kissing by suicide, and we already see our sister station getting involved with doing the duck lips. Now people can share stories or inspirational notes or things like that. But do your best duck lips, post it on social media. Let's see if we can get a trend, because I feel like when you say suicide awareness or prevention, a lot of times people get scared, you know, or want to back off, or there's a topic they don't want to discuss. But you're saying it's time to bring it to the forefront and support one another.
Right. It is kind of a dark topic. I mean, it's really hard to talk about because you're talking about someone that ended their life. Right. You know, for whatever reason. But it affects everyone. Mm-hmm. Everyone they know, everyone around them. It has a lot of secondary and tertiary effects. And it's sad and it's horrible. That person should not be at that level. So my message to everyone, and I'll look at the camera on this one, is find a reason to win. Find a reason to win. Reach out to somebody. Get connected with somebody, because there is somebody that loves you. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter where you're at, there is somebody that loves you. And understand that and realize that you have a purpose and a reason for this world. And move out and do those things that you're supposed to do, especially to our kids and our teenagers. You know, don't look at that as an option.
Right. And inspiring words this morning. Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel. And if we can pull up that full screen one more time, there's also a number in case you have any thoughts or need to reach out for help, 1-800-273-8255. And post your duck lips this morning so we can continue this great trend. Great to have you in this morning.
Thank you for your service.
And your support. We'll be right back. You're watching CW Iowa Live on KCWI Channel 23. Downright proud to salute this wonderful organization. We'll be right back.
Let's get